It's all about me.
This is the Dan Patrick Show podcast.
There is more where that came from.
Click back for new episodes all week long.
The 118th U.S. Open begins Thursday, June 14th, and BetDSI is the place to wager on it. Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, Phil Mickelson, defending champ Brooks Koepka, and more will be competing at Shinnecock Hills Golf Club for the right to call themselves the U.S. Open champ. Also, World Cup action begins this week in Russia and will run all the way through mid-July. Head to BetDSI to wager on individual matches, futures, and props. The entire world will be watching, so why not wager on it? BetDSI.com has over 20 years in the business, top rated, and is safe. Check out BetDSI.com and check out this offer. BetDSI is offering up to $2,500 free on your first deposit. Use promo code DAN25. That's DAN25 to claim this limited time offer. BetDSI has great customer service, fast, easy payment of winnings, hundreds of wagers on NBA, NHL, PGA, boxing, NASCAR, F1, UFC, the list goes on. BetDSI even has live in-game wagering on all major sporting events. You can play virtually every sport on BetDSI. So use DAN25 and try BetDSI.com now. That's BetDSI.com. Go there now.
I told you guys I would deliver the meat, and I delivered the meat.
I love it. I'm excited for meat, Dan.
Broadcasting from the Mercedes Man Cave, this is Dan Patrick.
Yep, it's a Meat Friday. Dan and the Danettes Dan Patrick Show. It's hour one. Glad you're on board with us. A lot of things to dive into today, and you can be part of the festivities in a variety of ways. If you'd like to tweet, you can at DP Show. Phone number 877-3DP Show. DP. Say good morning to our radio and TV partners, the NBC Sports Network, DirecTV's Audience Network, that's channel 239, and our 330 radio affiliates around America. Imagine if the NFL made the field 120 yards long for just the Super Bowl. Or the NBA said, NBA Finals, 12 feet high for the basket, just for the finals. Or the NHL said, during the Stanley Cup Final, we're going to make it harder to score a goal. We're going to shrink the goal mouth there. No one wants to give the best athletes in the world a struggle on the biggest stage, except for the PGA. And you got it yesterday. Welcome to the U.S. Open. Shinnecock Hills was the big winner yesterday, and making the best players look like pretty much you and me. Now, we'll see how the tournament progresses. The winds came out of a different direction yesterday, so the players weren't used to this. They had practice all week long, and the winds they thought were going to be coming from a different direction. Some people think this brings out the best in the world's top golfers, and others think that the field is too random. And we do love a Cinderella story, but do we want to watch players get roughed up? And the best players that we know, the best players, the marquee players, the players you tune in for, won't be there come Sunday. And this is a great golf course. It really is. But is it entertaining when it's this difficult? Or are you okay that maybe 1 year or 1 week out of the year that you're like, okay, let's challenge them. Let's see what happens when they get a double or a triple or they get a snowman on their card. There's some bad golf played yesterday. In fact, the numbers will bear that out. Here's a quick stat of the day. The field yesterday shot a combined 110 strokes over par, averaging 6.5 strokes per person over par. Both figures the worst of any round in a major since the second round of the 2007 U.S. Open at Oakmont.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, tap, tap, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Top.
I don't know if we use it as a poll question every year, at least once a year, but it feels like once a year we do bring up the topic. Do you like seeing golfers struggle? I like to see them challenged. Now, what happened last year when Brooks Koepka won, I think he won 16 under par at the U.S. Open. U.S. Open doesn't, think too kindly of that. I'd like to have something in between. I'm okay with guys being under par here. But watching yesterday, here's another thing. Why would golf run the risk, the possibility of their best players, marquee players, not on TV over the weekend? What if you just said, everybody makes the cut? There is no cut. Because I do want Jordan Spieth in there, even if he's 16 over par, or Rory McIlroy, or Jason Day. Like, why would I end their punishment? If we revel in this, wouldn't you still want to watch the best players, Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, get roughed up? Or maybe there's a great comeback. Maybe you get somebody like Jordan Spieth playing poorly, or Phil or Tiger, and then all of a sudden you give them 4 rounds to do something incredible, as opposed to you give them 2 rounds to try to salvage this. But, Brandel Chambly is going to join us coming up a little bit later on. I'm going to ask him about that. When did we put in the cut in golf? And why did we do it? Now, there's, 144 golfers, I think. So you'd like to cut down on the traffic there. But what if you just said, if you're going to be in a major, it's the top 50 players and that's it? Now, you do have good stories here. I will say that because Garrett Rank is an NHL official. He's 30 years of age. He qualified for the U.S. Open. He shot 13 over yesterday. He'll join us coming up in about 30 minutes. So you do have good stories there, but why not just say, this is made for TV. We want ratings. We want people to watch. And when we want to make sure all the great players are playing, whatever tournament they're in, that they survive the weekend. So that'll be coming up. Dustin Johnson's in the lead, but Tiger, Phil, Rory, Spieth, Jason Day struggling mightily. Yes, Paulie.
Tiger 1 under for the day after 4 holes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, he started out rough at the first 2 holes, and then after that, he played okay. But I think you were seeing the golfers, they were choosing their words carefully when they were talking about this. You don't want to start whining and saying, this isn't fair, it's tough. Everybody's playing the same course. There's an advantage, I thought, yesterday to playing earlier than later because the wind started to pick up. And then later in the day, when the final groups are finishing up, then the winds died down just a little bit. But we'll see what the winds are like, the conditions are like, but I'm going to guess you'll have better scores today. And I think they're talking about 5 over par as being the cut line for the U.S. Open. Dan Patrick Show brought to you by Farmers. Customizable home insurance packages offering coverage options that you can tailor for your home turf. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Discover home coverage options and more at farmers.com. McLevin will have a poll question here. There's a couple other things I was wondering about. The World Cup, why is the World Cup every 4 years? I know it's tradition, but do we need that amount of time to qualify for the World Cup? And what about the Olympics? What if you had every 3 years for winter and every 3 years for summer? Or, I don't know. I'm in this, let's change it up a little mode today.
Tighten it up?
Yeah. But the World Cup every 3 years? Why not? Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, if you did that plan where you had Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics, and World Cup every 3 years, every year you would have some huge world event.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
And this is what they need to do. And I know that, FIFA, the governing body, is not going to be in favor of this, but just rotate the cities here. The Olympic model is broken because you ask, these countries, hey, can you build this? Hey, Sochi, can you build this? Rio, can you build this? And then you go back, and then they're not even using these facilities. Greece, it's a mess. But if you have cities and you're able to do this, now, the IOC wants the money here, and FIFA wants this money. But every 3 years, if I just say, just rotate this, why not just say Europe gets the World Cup, and then it's going to be the United States gets the World Cup, Southeast Asia gets it, or, Japan, South Korea get it, or a continent gets it. Then I think it's smarter there. And then you're not asking these countries to build an infrastructure that you're not going to be, and like Morocco. Morocco was up against the United States, Mexico, and Canada. They didn't stand a chance, right? Because then you have to build all of this. And then what happens after it's gone? And this is the problem with the Olympics. That there are certain countries able to do this. London did an unbelievable job. Unbelievable. Los Angeles already has the infrastructure there for the Olympics or a World Cup. But this is what I think we need to do. And if you did it every 3 years, we don't wait for buildings to be built. And then the qualifying, okay, it's a little bit more confined, concentrated, but maybe it's more interesting there and more opportunities to see the great players. If I wait 4 years, how many times can I see some of the greatest players worldwide? I mean, I'm going to see Messi 3 times, maybe. So in 12 years, I'm going to see him 3 times in World Cup. But if I'm doing it every 3 years, Now, 4 years now, but if I do 3, now I got a chance to see him 4 times. Okay, it adds up. But then I got a chance to see the greatest players. But I'm not sure why it's every 4 years. The Olympics, they changed that model, but you could do that where you just say we're going to rotate these cities. And I'm sorry, the IOC, you're not going to be, there with your hand out where these countries are going to give you money, because Rio was not ready for this, and they tried. Sochi, that's a ghost town now. All of this money that was put in there, and it didn't need to be put in there. And I know you want to showcase your country, but you weren't ready for it. And that's part of the problem here. Everybody gets so excited. If I'm Chicago, I have to be thrilled that I didn't get the Olympics. Like, even Los Angeles, be careful what you ask for. But at least they have the infrastructure there, having hosted the Olympics before. It's these other countries where you go, wait, Torino is hosting the Olympics? Huh? Why? This doesn't make sense. Yes, Paulie.
It'd also be great for those niche athletes like fencers and other athletes who only get that big stage and sponsorship every 4 years. They make a lot of money. Like a really good snowboarder, Chloe Kim, and all the smaller ones. Yeah. Now they could do it every 3 years instead of 4. They get more chances because we usually watch those type of athletes for 3 weeks every 4 years.
Yeah. So here's my sports model. Everybody makes the cut in the majors. World Cup is every 3 years. And the Olympics are every 3 years.
That's in the first segment.
Yeah. Well, I just want to put it out there. So in, a couple of years from now, somebody says, why don't we have the World Cup every 3 years? Or why don't we let every one of these golfers make the cut? All right. McLovin, what kind of poll question do you have here?
We can start with U.S. Open. This might be a dumb question, but if you ran the PGA, would yesterday be a wake-up call, and would you change your philosophy a little bit?
Well, what do you mean a wake-up call? Because the best players struggled?
Yeah, because Rory, Jordan, and Tiger are all so crazy.
But what if they shot like even par? Would everybody,
like Dustin Johnson?
Yeah, like everybody would be okay with this?
Well, the whole point is that the course is so tricky that you're going to have no consistency about who comes out and makes a cut.
Okay, but if they did well and other guys did poorly, then
guys we don't know.
Then we would be. All this is the guys we know and want to see did poorly.
Right. And isn't that part of the design of the course? Isn't that why?
Yes, Eden.
But it's never good for your sport when your known star athletes aren't participating on the biggest day. That's, a horrible business plan.
And that's why everybody makes the cut. In my world, everybody gets to make the cut. Now, this isn't participatory trophies, though.
Sure sounds like
no.
You're flirting with it.
I want to have, if I'm a TV executive, I want to have the best players there. That you're coming out to watch Tiger, even if Tiger doesn't have a chance to win. And Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy. That you're guaranteed to see these guys. Yes, Eden.
How about, though, if you're Tiger Woods, who's somebody who's been battling injury all this time, and normally you just don't make the cut and you go home, would you still want to play after just throwing up all over yourself for the first couple of days? And what, now you're going to make me play, 2 more days? Really?
Okay, he still gets product placement. He gets his advertising there. He's on TV 2 more days with his Tiger Woods Nike gear, his new clubs with TaylorMade. And he probably needs the experience of being back out there in tournament-style, major tournament golf. So, yeah, put him out there, whatever. You're still going to get money. We're going to give you money at the end of it. Yes, Fritzy?
And some of our favorite players and teams that don't miss the NFL playoffs, should all the teams be able to get into the first round of the NFL playoffs?
No, because I don't want to see all of those guys.
But there are fans of many teams that don't make the playoffs or haven't for several years. Just give everybody a chance. You never know when someone may make a run and all of a sudden they got to the Super Bowl because they were allowed into the playoffs.
Yeah, but you're still going to watch the NFL playoffs. You may not watch a golf tournament if Scott Piercy is doing well. But if you got a chance to still watch Tiger or Jordan or any of these marquee guys, even Phil, just play over the weekend. You're going to watch. And that's what you want. You're still watching the NFL playoffs no matter who's in. And I'm okay with adding a couple more wild card teams. In fact, I thought I broke that story a couple of years ago. I'm still waiting for the NFL.
You got Vegas hockey.
I did get Vegas hockey, but man, I was told, and you know what? The person who told me this should have known. They did know. And then all of a sudden, I'm like out on a wire there, and I go, what's going on with the wild card teams? Oh, man, I don't think it's going to happen. What? Yeah, McLeod.
I think they actually changed their decision because you reported it. You know how Raj won't come on the show?
Yeah. That's
Put two and two together.
He's known as the commissioner, McLovin, not Raj.
Raj.
Are you saying that?
Raj from What's Happening?
Maybe that's why we didn't get him.
Come on, Raj.
Fritzy goes, can Raj join Dan on the show here? You did refer to him as the commissioner, didn't you?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, not available.
Raj, yeah, I know.
Not available for 6 years.
He's not available forever.
He's extremely busy.
Yes. Nope. Late at night, early morning,
Nope.
he is not available.
What if we tape something? Nope.
Nope.
There's no window where this can possibly.
What if
work.
I go to his house? Nope.
He's out of the country. Just when you were going to go to his house.
What if I ride in the car with him to his house? Nope, not available.
The special one-seater car. There's just no room for you.
That always drives Paulie crazy when we're trying to get somebody not available, like forever. Like he'll never have a moment.
They don't have phones where he's going?
No,
What? Nothing?
Not available. Yes, Paulie.
I like presenting every option. We'll come to them. We'll drive a TV truck to them. We could do it day or night, 24 hours a day for the next 6 months. He's still not available.
Not available.
Yeah.
Not available. All right. It is a Friday, I guess, as you can tell by the opening here, with some of my random thoughts here. Everyone makes the cut in a major. World Cup every 3 years and the Olympics every 3 years. All in favor say aye. Aye? Paulie?
I like the 3-year thing.
3-year for the World Cup?
Both.
And for the Olympics?
Got to do some adjusting.
What about everybody makes the cut in a major?
I don't like that one.
Okay.
I do like the 3 years, but you gotta work for getting some weekend golf.
Is there a
going.
chance you'll watch more golf this weekend if you knew these guys who may not make the cut were going to play? So just business-wise, just from a business perspective, if I know that Jordan Spieth's still going to play, or you're more likely to go out and still see them and see Tiger play, or Phil Seaton.
You're going to watch them if they're competing for a chance to win, not if they're hovering somewhere around 71st. You're not interested in seeing that.
You would still, at least you know who you're watching, and there'd be people who would still tune in because they're fan favorites there. Tiger's the one guy, it doesn't matter what his score is or how close he is or isn't to contention, and people will watch. The networks still show you every shot Tiger hits, no matter what his score is. But, Phil's another guy. Jordan Spieth, maybe. Rory McIlroy, maybe. So, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Fritzy.
It would just seem desperate and manipulative on the network's part. Like when the Yankees were bad, if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, that's a team everybody's interested in, or the Cowboys, and you find a way to finagle extra teams so that big market teams or popular teams can continue on.
But these are individuals. And didn't baseball manipulate this by adding another wild card?
And who knows if they'll add more.
But they wanted to ensure that you got some of these bigger markets there. I mean, the reason why the 04 Red Sox won the World Series, they got in. Wild card team, right? But these are individuals with golf. These aren't teams we're talking about. These are individuals. All right, I'll shut up here for a moment. We'll take a break. We'll come up with a poll question. Got another stat of the day, play of the day. And he is an NHL ref at night and an amateur golfer during the day. He's Garrett Rank. And he will join us at 13 over yesterday, and that's respectable. If I would have said, "Hey, you're gonna have a score 3 shots worse than Rory McIlroy," he probably would have said, "Yeah, Fritzy." He
kept throwing golf balls between golfers, expecting some kind of face-off with their clubs. It's very bizarre. I don't know if you saw that. Because he's an NHL ref.
Have you been sitting on that one?
I wasn't sitting on it. It just kind of came to me, and I probably should have just kept it in my head. But imagine if he did that. He took golf balls and threw them between
I need
golfers.
you to come over here in the penalty box. 2 minutes. Come on. Let's go.
Old school.
Get in the box over here. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Bad hockey joke there by Fritzy. Lime green golf shirt with Fritzy. Yeah, go in the box. Yeah, go in the box. Is your microphone on? It's not even on, is it? 3 minutes in the penalty box. 3 minutes in there. Get it? Get in there. Get in there. All right. Fritzy's got his shorts on. He's got his lime green golf shirt from Johnny O. Pale legs.
Little piano legs.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Walking over to the box.
Yeah.
Hold on. He's almost there.
Those shoes. That's just the soles of those Nikes going, help me.
Go ahead.
Help me.
Open
help
the door,
me,
Todd.
Help
Okay.
Help
There
me.
you go.
Help me. Help me. Help me. I always see Babe Ruth when I see Fritzy with those legs. Like the build, he's sort of Babe Ruth. Got those piano legs. All right, we'll take a break here. McLovin, I have a poll question when we return. 877-3DP Show and our Twitter handle at DP Show. We're back after this on The Dan Patrick Show.
Support for the Dan Patrick Show comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that home plays a big role in your life and family, and that's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, with Rocket Mortgage, you get a transparent online process that gives you the confidence to make an informed decision. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. And in addition to getting a real mortgage approval in minutes, you can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully. Mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Dan, equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org, number 3030. These days, news travels lightning fast, which is great if you're a sports fan. Between status updates, breaking news notifications, and Twitter feeds, you can always be up to the minute on every team and every game. And while this is great for sports fans, it's the opposite when it comes to buying a car. Go online and you're bombarded with numbers. Invoice, list price, dealer price. It's hard to know or even recognize a good price. But not anymore. Introducing True Price from TrueCar. It's the only price you need to know because it's exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories. How do you know if True Price is a great price? Because TrueCar shows you what other people paid for that same car you want, so you know how to recognize a good price. And your certified dealers know this. They set their true price competitively so they can win your business. So when you're ready to buy a new car or a used car, visit TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. So stop being bombarded with all of these numbers online. Get the only number you need to know with True Price from TrueCar. Some features not available in all states.
The 118th U.S. Open begins Thursday, June 14th, and BetDSI is the place to wager on it. Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, Phil Mickelson, defending champ Brooks Koepka, and more will be competing at Shinnecock Hills Golf Club for the right to call themselves the U.S. Open champ. Also, World Cup action begins this week in Russia and will run all the way through mid-July. Head to BetDSI to wager on individual matches, futures, and props. The entire world will be watching, so why not wager on it? BetDSI.com has over 20 years in the business, top-rated, and is safe. Check out BetDSI.com and check out this offer. BetDSI is offering up to $2,500 free on your first deposit. Use promo code DAN25. That's DAN25 to claim this limited time offer. BetDSI has great customer service, fast, easy payment of winnings, hundreds of wagers on NBA, NHL, PGA, boxing, NASCAR, F1, UFC, the list goes on. BetDSI even has live in-game wagering on all major sporting events. You can play virtually every sport on BetDSI. So use DAN25 and try BetDSI.com now. That's BetDSI.com. Go there now.
Shocking news during the commercial break. I walked over and I was talking to the Danettes. Fritzy was put in the penalty box for a bad joke, and then he doubled down on the joke, so I added another minute to his penalty box time. And then all of a sudden I'm walking over, and Paulie said something about Fritzy's jokes, that he stands by his jokes, and that he actually thinks he did well at Caroline's during his last stand-up routine, but he put the blame on the audience.
I'm not saying I did well. I didn't think it was a complete, utter disaster. I had the 7 p.m. Monday crowd that were just getting out of work or they didn't know what to do with themselves.
Once again, blaming the crowd. Is that what you're doing?
I think I didn't acknowledge them, and I left the mic stand in the way that they felt maybe that I was just kind of not giving them any kind of love or just kind of ignoring the group that came to see some actual comedians.
Okay.
But it started off very poorly. I think there was a couple of moments where there was some laughter.
But do you think you did well at Caroline?
I wouldn't call it well, but I think we're being a little
just
harsh.
Yes or no? Do you think you did well? Yes or no?
Is okay well or is okay under well?
Okay is, I guess, under well.
Then I was under well.
Okay. All right.
But I didn't get booed off the stage. I didn't get hit with a tomato or anything. I did see that red light, but it could have been up there for several minutes by the time I noticed it.
Okay. I was just a little surprised there. Yes, Paulie.
I'm going to try to be objective here because I wasn't present for this, so I can't talk about whether he did well or not.
Unfortunately, I was.
I've seen it, but the other three people in the room, would you consider it a bomb, solid, or he did well. If you had to pick one of those three, it was he bombed, he did okay, and it was solid, or
well, no,
he did
okay
well.
and solid are different.
Like,
yes.
it was a solid show.
Yeah.
Or he did well.
Okay.
One of the three.
All right. Seton O'Connor.
Well, I wish you didn't start with me. I wish you'd started with Andrew. He's very quiet.
Okay, I'll start with McLovin. McLovin, how do you think Fritzy
Hey,
did?
no, you called on Seton. He's got to go first.
All right.
Okay, so listen, I give Todd a lot of credit for getting up there and doing that. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
But
but
I think he should continue doing that.
get to the butt.
He bombed at Caroline.
Okay.
Bombed.
All
There
right.
was not a joke in the 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. I think that you bombed as well.
Okay.
I did notice there were German shepherds sniffing around the perimeter of Todd's set.
Wait, do they have a bomb squad at Caroline's?
Yeah, they.
Oh my God.
around for bombs.
You should use that joke, Todd.
That's pretty
You
good.
should use that. And serious.
I thought I heard some mild growling in the background, but I didn't think it had anything to do
No,
with bomb
you know what?
drops.
When they didn't laugh, you should say, "Wait, are the German shepherds here?" And then
No.
then you could say, "Is there a bomb squad here?" That's how they would have sounded that night.
And sometimes you have to decide: do you acknowledge the lack of laughter, or do you move on? That's part of what the really talented comedians. Sometimes they work off of the bad joke.
I think the first joke that there was so much passion with it, and that there was nothing when you were done.
I think it's like a speech maker who thinks he's made a really strong point and is expecting the applause, whether it's a presidential speech or whatever you're doing, and you're expecting and everyone should have a job, and no, don't leave any student behind. And then you stop and you're waiting for the applause that doesn't come, and that's the awkwardness of it.
Okay. That's when I think you should have acknowledged the crowd. It's like, oh, okay, you're going to be that way, huh? Yes, McLovin.
See, most performers come off stage and be like, I could have done so much better. Usually people judge themselves harshly. Todd seems to be taking the opposite tact.
Part of me was just relieved that I got through it because, it's a nerve-wracking experience. But, I'd be lying if I said I heard all kinds of laughter, even if I was trying to conjure it up in my head.
Yeah, there wasn't.
And there was a moment of panic there after the section row seat where I'm like, I can't bail now and just walk off the stage. That would be more humiliating than continue to say jokes that people aren't laughing at. Yeah. So I got to somehow keep going and get through this. And, if I get a giggle here or there, as opposed to starting to just run off the stage, that would be horrific.
I give you all the credit in the world that you got up there. Absolutely. Couldn't do it. But I don't give you much credit for the material you had when you got on stage. Yeah.
I can't really debate that.
No.
But but my okay, maybe that's just my own ego or my own.
Do you want to hear section, row, seat again?
Why not?
Okay. That's what it sounded like.
I thought you were actually going to play the little clip there of the one, but that didn't go over great.
Do we have the clip?
We do. We could play it right now.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you're doing it to me again. I see where we're going.
This is not on purpose, Todd.
I think it's just being mean-spirited, or we're just not prepared to play the clip. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think we're
not prepared to play the clip.
Yeah. We were just like you, not prepared.
We could always try to find another joke from the set too, and just play that in its entirety.
We've been trying.
Like you can't, you can't really call it a joke.
You know what I think it is? So Todd does a certain form of stand of he does this alternative sort of stand up where it's not really jokes, it's more like life and storytelling, right? I'm not making a joke about that, where he does comedy with no jokes, and that's Todd's bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't really tell set up punchline. He sort of just tells stories, and unless you know all of the backstory, which if you listen to this show, you hear Todd do versions of these stories, and then when he gets on stage at a place like Caroline's, he does the X-rated version of those. It's sort of at Caroline's, it just came across as a guy complaining about his life, which can be very funny, but you didn't know the stories where you're like, so you took this trip to Israel, that sounds kind of awesome, and then it just didn't, it never paid off quite that way of there has to be some humor in those moments.
And I think some people, I'm not saying it's the Monday 7 o'clock crowd as much as I'd like to put it on
You
them.
just said it was the Monday 7
I think it was in part that. But some people are turned off, especially if it's not very strong material, by curse words or something that's a little off-putting if you try to go blue. And sometimes, as you've said, it can be desperate. You start cursing because your material's not strong, so you're trying to say bad words. But I made eye contact.
All right.
I made eye contact with a
We're-
young blonde woman at one point, and she wasn't having any of the inappropriate stuff at all.
Okay. McLovin, got a poll question for me today?
Sure. Are you less likely to watch the U.S. Open depending on who makes the cut? So the question is, like, how serious a golf fan are you? What percentage will tune out because those stars aren't there?
Okay. Bubba TY1 tweets, here's what I do in terms of the U.S. Open. Top 100 make the cut after round 2. Top 60 make the cut after round 3. In terms of golf, you can't have everybody making the cut because then every person wouldn't try as hard as they could. Well, depending on the money that's going to be there too. I understand that when you make the cut, you're going to make money, and when you don't make the cut in almost all those tournaments, you're not going to make any money. Yes, McLovin.
Actually, do you want me to change the poll to that? So if you present to the USGA, you can have some data. Maybe would you open the field?
Would I open the field? What do you mean?
No cut.
Well, I just think if you're a business, if you're looking at this from marketing and you're a TV executive, if you're Fox wants to have Tiger and Phil and Rory and Jordan Spieth there for the weekend. All right? I mean, just even if they could sort of be in striking distance, you would want them there. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that I know that we have to have a cut here, but I wonder if somebody said, you know what, let's don't have a cut. Or let's have the top 60 or top 100. I want to make sure the stars are playing. Certainly in that sport that needs growth. Yeah, Paul.
Can the people who run Shinnecock change the hole placements the whole this weekend to make it easier? Or is it too late for that?
Oh yeah.
Do you think they should? I don't know how much it would make a difference.
I think they have a game plan here. I don't think the USGA is going, man, we're embarrassed by what happened here. I just don't think that. I think they were surprised at the winds and the direction of the winds, and the golfers weren't ready for that. And those greens aren't great greens as far as putting. You saw them, bobble a lot. You had guys 4-putting. I mean, we 4-putt, they don't 4-putt, and that was huge. But they made mistakes. They're human. They make mistakes, and you saw that yesterday. Let me see. Tom in Indiana joins us. Hi, Tom. What do you have for me today?
Hey, happy Meat Friday, guys.
Thank you, Tom.
Fritz, MVP, the Danettes, but you did bomb, bud.
All right.
Hey, on the golf stuff, casual fan, I would rather see something, unexpected or epic. Somebody, a storyline on a guy that we don't know win or choke it away, just dramatic fashion. Nobody remembers who won the Indy 500 the year that Hildebrand hit the wall, but he was the rookie and had one turn left. I'd rather see a guy go 10 cup or see a guy Superman his shirt on 18 because he knows he just got a huge payday, than watch Jordan Spieth, tip his cap to the crowd and go glad hand the high rollers. That's just my take.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Thanks for bringing it. Paul Junio. The casual fan won't watch golf just because of an out-of-contention Tiger is on. Will just gripe about too much Tiger coverage compared to the golfers who are shooting better than he is. I mean, it's possible, but there's still enough time to squeeze in Tiger Woods' shot. People are going to watch Tiger Woods. They are. When he's anywhere near in contention, the numbers bear that out. But I'm just curious, and I'll ask Brandel Chambly about this next hour. What if you just didn't have a cut in the majors? Steve in Oregon joins us this morning. Hi, Steve. What do you have for me?
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Steve.
5'10", 215. Hey, two quick things. First thing is just a quick thank you. My work situation changed over the last couple of years, and my daughter does about a half-hour commute with me every morning, and she's really taken to the show. She loves all the guys. The one request she has is to err on the side of the jazzy stat of the day music.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I thought my boat was sunk the first time she heard the heavy metal version. But anyway, I digress. On the World Cup piece on the rotation there, I actually like the way it rotates because in the even year or every 2 years, you've got the Euros, which for me is arguably a better tournament. And so you've got World Cup 2 years, and then the Euros are every 4 years, and then in between you always have the Euros. And I think and then the other piece is on the venue front. Most of the tournaments over the years have been in places where stadiums were in place. I think the Qatar thing with the air-conditioned stadiums is a relatively new development.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate the insights there. But I'd still like to have the World Cup every 3 years. If that's the big stage, the grand stage, and the greatest players, and I can get maybe an extra World Cup out of some of these teams, some of these players, I'd like to do that. And if you did the Olympics like that, that'd be great too. Waiting every 4 years. If you have every 3 years, all right. I don't know. Sounds like just a thought. That's all. I don't have all the answers. I just have all the thoughts. All right, we'll settle on our poll question, get to phone calls, got a play of the day coming up. And also up next, he is an NHL ref. In fact, he was in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He's 30 years of age. He's Garrett Rank, but he's also in the U.S. Open. He qualified, shot a 13 over. We'll get his thoughts on what it was like to be out there with the big boys. Garrett Rank will join us coming up right after our play of the day here on The Dan Patrick Show.
Last week on the Dan Patrick Show, we were all talking about how much we loved pro wrestling when we were growing up, and it's still great. I have great news for you now. Now, WWE is streaming online. WWE Network, it's an online video streaming service where you can stream every WWE pay-per-view live, watch more than 10,000 hours of video on demand, get a look behind the scenes with WWE's groundbreaking original series and documentaries, access anywhere. Now through June 18th, a special offer just for our listeners. New subscribers get a 2-month free trial when they can sign up for WWE Network at wwenetwork.com/Dan. It's a 2-month free trial. It includes the following pay-per-views. Money in the Bank this Sunday, an opportunity for WWE Championship hangs over the ring as 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, plus Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. Also, Extreme Rules on July 15th. For one night only, WWE throws the rulebook out the window. Go to wwenetwork.com/Dan to start your 2-month free trial. That's wwenetwork.com/Dan.
Here at PodcastOne, we love hearing from you. We read every tweet and comment you send our way, so don't miss your chance to take our summer listener survey. Just go to PodcastOne.com and click on the survey banner, or go to PodcastOne.com/mysurvey. It only takes a few minutes, and it gives you the opportunity to make a direct impact on your favorite shows. Tell us how you really feel, so we can get to know you better. We value your thoughts and participation, so check out the survey at PodcastOne.com/mysurvey, or click on the survey banner on PodcastOne.com.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
Oh my God!
The play of the day.
Runner left side, got it! We're gonna play it and play it!
This is the play of the day. Check this out.
To the first would be Tiger Woods.
Well, I know he's not happy, and this is not the start he wants, but this would be a big putt if this could go in.
Triple bogey start for Tiger Woods. 22nd score of triple or worse today at Shinnecock Hills, and it belongs to Tiger Woods.
Ouch, a little modest mouse missed the boat there with Tiger. Triple bogey, had a couple of double bogeys, and now he's through 6 holes today. Courtesy of Fox Sports 1, our play of the day. Play of the day is brought to you by the great folks at Farmers. Customizable home insurance packages offering coverage options that you can tailor for your home turf. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Discover home coverage options and more at farmers.com. Dan Patrick Show brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. If you missed any of the interviews this week from the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event Man Cave, go to the Dan Patrick Show app. You can watch and listen from inside the Mercedes-Benz Man Cave. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. We've been talking about the marquee players who struggled yesterday. Garrett Rank is an NHL official. He qualified for the U.S. Open, and he shot a 13 over par yesterday in round 1. And Garrett joins us now. Garrett, thanks for joining us. Where are you right now?
I'm just at my billet family's house, about 10, 15 minutes from the course, getting ready to head over there for round 2.
How do you think you did yesterday?
My score doesn't really reflect very good golf, but it was challenging conditions. I've got a I've got a full-time, real-time job, so I kind of just do this golf thing on the side. I figured I could have a chance to compete and do well. My expectations were kind of to try and make the cut and just enjoy the week. But man, what a challenging day! Just kind of a 180 turn from what the practice rounds gave us, and they turned the wind up to 25, 30 miles an hour.
Explain how you qualified.
So I went through local qualifying. It was 84 guys down in Florida. They took the top three. I shot 69, 3 under par. And then you go to sectional qualifying. I got sent to Georgia, so I think there was another maybe 50 guys there, and they took the top 3 players. It's 36 holes one day. I shot 1 under both rounds, finished 2 under for the tournament. Really challenging course, and I finished in first place.
If I would have told you before you started yesterday, hey, you know what, Rory's going to shoot 3 shots better than you, how would you have reacted?
I would have signed up for that for sure. I mean, I didn't want to shoot 83, but when I was out there getting kicked in the face by the golf course, I walked by a couple marquee groups and saw some of the scores of the big name players, and not that it made me feel any better, but I took a little bit of solace and thought, wow, these guys are going through the same thing that I'm going through right now. Did you get a chance to walk up to Phil or Tiger or Rory, any of these guys, and just introduce yourself? Yeah, I've met a lot of really cool people this week. I met Mr. Nicholas. I spent some time doing some media stuff with Jason Day. He's a huge Columbus Blue Jackets fan living in Columbus. Walked past Tiger, never met him. Scheduled a practice round to play with DJ. So yeah, it's like kind of right in the mix with all these guys, and kind of I'm one of them this week. So I'm just trying to take it all in and kind of living out a childhood dream right now. Did you walk up to Jack Nicklaus and say hello? I did, yes. He was there on a Wednesday, and he was on the putting green, so I just went up and said hi to him. And my brother's caddying for me this week, so he followed suit, and we kind of had like this stupid grin on our face where afterwards we were like, wow, we really just met Jack Nicklaus. So that was a pretty neat moment. Compare the two sports, or at least, and I don't know if you can compare them because you're officiating, you're a referee in hockey, but maybe the mental aspect that goes with being an NHL official in the Stanley Cup playoffs and then actually playing in the U.S. Open. Is there any kind of correlation there? Yeah, I think you got to be really decisive. Yesterday really demanded being decisive on the shot that you wanted to hit, and in officiating, you have about 0.5 of a second to make a decision on whether or not you think it's foul or not. And then just being able to move on from a mistake or a bad call or yesterday hitting a couple bad shots. You just kind of got to roll with it and stay calm and even keel. You can't let the highs get you too high and the lows get you too low. Was there one of those moments where you went, I just want to go and hide? Not really. There's a few moments where I was like, wow, this is really hard. I don't know how I'm going to like get the ball in the hole here, but just to like put it in perspective to people, if you go to your home course, and I mean, I know the fairways are a little bit wider than they have been at the past when they posted at Shinnecock, but if you go to your home course and you don't hit the ball in your fairway, you're in the rough and you just hit it on the green. But out here, if you don't hit in the fairway, you're a knee-high fescue, and you're trying to like slash it back onto the fairway and then getting it up onto the green. But then you're also dealing with a 25 or 30 mile an hour crosswind that's blowing your ball left to right or right to left, and then you're just not playing a Saturday or Sunday game with your buddies. You're out there trying to compete in the U.S. Open. So it was a bit of a learning experience for me. I tried to take as much as I could from an 83 yesterday, but I honestly didn't feel like I played too poorly. I would have been very happy with a 77 or a 78. It was just really, really hard. And I played with hockey players, and just the whole slap shot, that impact, that motion there has to help you in golf. I'm assuming you played hockey growing up, so is there an advantage to that in playing golf if you're a hockey player? Yeah, I've got a little bit of a lateral slide in my golf swing, and so I think that correlates from playing hockey as a kid. The slap shot and the golf swing are pretty similar. The hand-eye coordination needs to be there. There's a lot of great hockey players who are retired or still playing in the game now that play a ton of golf in the summer and are really good players.
Well, have fun today, Garrett, and
appreciate it.
Certainly pretty cool. You got your older brother. Is your brother? Do you argue with him at all as your caddy?
Well, it was kind of funny yesterday because he was like, dude, just trying to hit it in the fairway, then trying to hit it in the center of the green. And I was like, man, that's been my approach on every hole, and it's not really working out too well. So it wasn't really, never really turned into an argument. But a couple of weeks ago we played at our home course, and he beat me by 5. So he's obviously a great player and really good at golf. And I think not that he was getting frustrated, but I think he thought it was supposed to be a little bit easier than it was, and it just started compounding pretty quickly.
But if you won't drop the gloves, you drop the bag, and you guys go toe to toe. That would be pretty good if you two just squared off. It'd be good TV, Garrett.
That'd be great entertainment, good TV. Yesterday I was like, oh, it'd be nice to like maybe go on the corner and lay a body check right now, get some of this frustration out. But there's no sport with full contact golf yet, so we're just waiting for that to come down the line.
Garrett, congratulations for making it this far, and have fun today. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. My buddies want to know what's on the grill for Friday.
Meat Friday, I don't know yet. I think it's
okay.
I think it's bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Nice. Well, make sure you add a few Labatt's Blue in there.
Oh, Labatt's Blue. Thank you, Garrett. Now, maybe we'll have you stop by the Man Cave and have a Meat Friday with you when you're on the road.
I would love that. That would be awesome.
All right, that's cool. Thank you, Garrett. That's Garrett Rank, Meat Friday, making its way all the way to Canada. A little Labatt's Blue. We're good to go. That's pretty cool, though. You're 30 years of age. You're an NHL. Now, he survived testicular cancer, too. Oh, by the way. Yeah, Fritzy.
How could you not love that guy? He makes the USO. He's telling us stories about meeting Jack Nicklaus's brothers, the caddies, asking us what's on the Meat Friday Traeger grill. He's excited about coming to the studio to have Meat Friday with us. It's the best.
Yeah. When I saw that story, I said to Fritzy, I said, get this guy on. See if we can get him on. And so that was nice. I was glad that we got him on after he played one round because, we're all going, what would we do if we were on? Now, he's a good golfer, and he shot 13 over par. Now, I don't even know what the average golfer would shoot. Like, if you're a 10 handicapper there, are you shooting 95? Who knows? All right, Brandel Chambly will join us coming up. Also, it's a Meat Friday. A stat of the day coming up as well. 1 hour in the books.
True crime fans rejoice. Small Town Murder is now on PodcastOne. Crime and Sports' James Petrogallo and Jimmy Wisman look at small towns, what makes them tick, and the murders that took place there. In-depth research, horrible tragedy, and the host's comedic spin on the whole thing. What can go wrong? Subscribe to hear new episodes every Thursday on PodcastOne.com, the Podcast One app, and Apple Podcasts.